Welcome, I'm Caitlin Dorsett from the Early Learning Coalition of Sarasota County. We are providing you with a tutorial video of the new OEL provider portal. It's a quick overview. We're going to go over a couple of sections and topics to help you register and use the portal. The first thing we're going to do is go to the website. It is providerservices.floridaearlylearning.com account login. And once you go there, it will bring you to the website. Here it is. The Office of Early Learning has created this new portal. This portal will eventually replace our current systems, and so this portal will be used by families, childcare providers, and the coalitions in Florida. So we'll all be on one system. It will eventually replace the functions that we currently use our OPS system for. So we'll eventually have attendance and enrollments on the system, but for now we're going to use it solely for the provider contracts for VPK and the school readiness programs. So at this time we will have you register and create a profile and upload your documents so we can initiate the contract process. Please be sure to use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer as your internet browser. Safari and Firefox may not work with the portal, so Google Chrome or Internet Explorer are your best options. The first step will be to register for an account. You'll click here. You'll need your tax ID or EIN number and a license number. There are definitions here on these icons if you need more information about that. If you have a site that shares a tax ID with other sites, or if you have a tax ID to use for multiple sites, please listen carefully. Only one account needs to be created per tax ID. If you try to use a tax ID to create more than one account, it will stop you because it's already been used to create an account. So if you have multiple sites or if you share a tax ID, please make sure that you're only creating one account. You can add the other sites and users later after you register. You'll put in your tax ID and license number. And you'll verify the license details. If it finds a match, it will let you know. Not all of our records have merged over yet, so it may not find a match, so that's okay. But if it does find a match, please verify it is the correct record and the information is correct. If not, please correct it when you're going through the information. If it doesn't find a match, you'll receive this message. Just press OK and continue to enter the information manually. The business name is the business name associated with the tax ID, so the owner. If you are the owner, you can put in your own information. If you're owned by another organization or a company, please put in their information. It must match the association to the tax ID. So you put in the address for them. And then the doing business as name, the DBA, is for your provider site name. So if it's different than the owner name, please put your provider site name here. And then you'll select your type, your legal status, and the contact phone number. You'll go down to physical address of the facility and make sure you select the correct county. And then you're going to enter your user information, so your name, and valid email address, and your password. If you click register and an error pops up, please make sure you filled in the required sections. If you get an error that your email address is not valid, it means it's already been used to create an account, either for the provider portal or the family portal, which would have been used for a VPK or school readiness application. You can contact the coalition for assistance in that case. You'll select register, and then it will send a message or an email to you saying that you have registered, and we will activate your account on the coalition side. After the coalition activates your account, you'll return here to the login screen and enter your email and password. After you log in with your email and your password, you will see your dashboard. This is where you will find all the functions that you're going to need to create your profile, add other sites and users. If you have other sites, you may go here to manage all sites and you can add them. You'll see everyone listed if you've already added them. You can edit them if you need to, so you can edit their license number, their address, etc. Or you can manage the users associated with each site, but for now we're just going to add the site. So if you have more than one, you'll go in and put the license number and verify the license. Again, if it finds a match, it'll let you know, but if not, that's okay. Just continue to enter your information. and make sure your county is correct. If you choose the wrong county, it will go to another coalition. You'll save. It will ask you to confirm your address. If it's a address that the USPS does not recognize, it will let you know, and you'll need to change it so that it does recognize it. But if it does recognize, it will give you this verification notification. So yes. And then you'll see it's been added. To manage all users, you go here on your dashboard, and it will show you the users assigned to each site. Now the roles have different meanings. So the roles are business administrator, which this should be the owner or the first person to register for the account, and they should have access to everything, so all of the sites. And they're the ones who will add the other sites and users, so please make sure that this person has is authorized to have this role. They are able to edit provider profile, add provider sites and users, submit profiles and profile updates, and create contracts. This role would typically be assigned to an owner. The site administrator should be per site, so that should be a director or an assistant director or someone who should only have access to that particular site. They are able to add provider users for a site but cannot create a new site. There's also users. This could be a teacher or someone else on your staff that may not have access to the site or the business administrator roles. They are able to perform administrative tasks based on permissions granted by the business or site administrators. This role would typically be assigned to teachers and aides. So when you're on your account, you will see that the first person, whoever created the account first, is also a business administrator. They can add the other users and sites. You can edit the roles here and make them a site administrator or a user, but please make sure there's always a business administrator. A site administrator cannot make themselves a business administrator, and also a user cannot make themselves a business administrator. So to add a user, you enter their email address, and you'll check that if it's been used or not, and assign them a role. And then you can do that for as many sites as you need to. Going back to the home page, you'll have messages eventually. Right now we're not using these messages, but it will have the similar function as the op system that we're using to send you messages. There's also a provider user guide here for your use if you need to use it. Now we're going to talk about the provider profile. If you have more than one site, you will need to create a profile for each site. If you have access to both sites or to more than one site, you can switch between them here, and you'll see the different site names. And each site will have their own profile. To get to the profile, you'll go here, and it will bring you to these tabs. The status will be incomplete until you submit the profile. So you'll go through each tab. There's the general tab. Please answer the questions accordingly. If you answer yes to the gold seal or accreditation questions, it will prompt you for more information. You'll hit next and then go to the business tab. This tab is specifically for the business owner. So again, the owner that is associated with the tax ID. This is not per site. If you have more than one site, this business tab should be the same information for all of those sites. And the first person in to create the account, the business administrator, controls this page. So if they change this page on one of their profiles, it will affect all of the other profiles. So please be aware of that. If you have any questions about that process, you can contact us and we can walk you through that. So please make sure that this business tab is for the business owner. If you are the owner, it'll just be your information. If you're owned by another organization or company, it will be their information. And you'll go through. The license number, however, is per site. So if you are working on a profile for a specific site, please enter their license number on this section for number 8. You'll go through and answer all the questions and select next. The facility tab is for the site that you are completing the profile for. So you'll go through and do the contact information for that particular site, physical address, and the director name. If you have a VPK director, you can also add other contacts here and select their role, or if it's not listed, you can select other contact and add them to here, to this page. If it asks for the authorized contract rep, that means that you are designating that person as someone who can complete a contract for either VPK or school readiness. The next tab. It's a little slow. is the Services tab. This tab is asking you questions about the services you provide. So you'll list the ages of the children that you care for. Please make sure that you're indicating the correct ages, so months or years. Also, you'll go through the questions here and select any that apply to you. If they don't apply, just leave it blank, or if there may be an option that says none or none provided. And you'll go through and answer all these questions. For number 9.1, the character development description. If you offer a character development program, please enter a description. You can enter the name. If it's a part of your curriculum, please enter the curriculum name. And you'll continue to enter your information. If you select yes to affiliation for a not-for-profit, it'll ask you for that not-for-profit's name. The curriculum tab already has the options listed here, so please pick the ones that you apply or use. You can select more than one. If you do not have any of these curriculums that you implement, please select other. The fees and discounts are asking for any fees that you charge, and again, you'll enter the amount, the frequency, and if it's per child or per family. Please note that if you blank out these sections, it will not let you continue. So there has to be a 0 or some sort of number in these boxes. So please make sure there's either a 0 or the amount that you charge. It has a few other questions here for family discounts and other discounts that you may offer. The hours of operation are pretty self-explanatory, just wanting to know what hours you're open. If you're a 24-hour provider, you'll select 24 hours, and you'll continue. The enhanced schedule is asking if you have drop-in care, full-time, part-time, etc. Staffing and capacity, they are asking for your ratios. So how many teachers are in each classroom for each care level? How many children in each classroom? The group size, there is a definition here. If you have more than one classroom for a specified care level, please enter the highest ratio or group size for that care level. Then they're asking for training, educational credentials in your program for the number of staff. So enter how many staff members have credentials or this particular training for each section. I believe there is another option as well if none of these, or if you have more than these listed. They have a few more questions about your ratios in your license capacity. Onto the private pay rates. If you do not have all of these rates, you do not have to enter all of these sections. You just enter the ones that you charge. You can either do it by monthly rate, by weekly rate. There is full-time and part-time. If the section is grayed out, it just means that you have indicated that you don't care for that particular age group for that particular rate. So for summer camp is usually school age, for example, so that's why these are grayed out. The full-time, and part-time are for care that is greater than or equal to 16 hours per day. So if you care for children more than 16 hours per day, this is the rate that they're asking for. You'll continue and enter all of your rates, and these rates will pre-populate onto the contract, so please make sure that they are correct. If you have any questions about entering these rates, please let us know as well, and we can walk through that with you. If you are finding that you have rates that may not apply to this particular screen, or if you have rates that you've combined, we can go through that with you and explain how we can enter them correctly. The closures calendar is asking you for the days that you will not provide care. So the days you're either closed, like holidays or other days, and then days that you will not provide care. And these will pre-populate onto the contract up to 12, and you'll be able to select them, but please make sure that you're entering as all of the days that you're going to be closed. Do not include weekends. Obviously, if your hours of operation do not include weekends, you do not have to box off every weekend. Just include the days that you would normally be providing care but are not going to for that particular date. And next. So based on the questions you've already answered, it will ask you for specific documentation. So if you have a gold seal, it'll ask you for a gold seal certificate. You'll go through and upload all of these documents on this page that you have. If it doesn't apply to you, you do not have to enter them, but if it does, please upload the document. And then you'll select next. There are a few documents not listed on that page that you can upload to the library that are required for the contracts, and we'll go through that a little bit later. You'll go through and review, make sure that there's nothing missing. If there is something missing, it may tell you or it may stop you on that page. but you can go through and select the little plus sign, and it'll go down and tell you what you've answered and the information you have entered. So you go through each tab, make sure everything is correct. You'll select next, and you will sign and certify that you are submitting this profile. You'll have to enter the name exactly as it was entered when you registered. So you'll enter your name. If it is not correct, like for example, it will give you a message saying please enter it exactly as it's shown right here. That's how they want you to type. Please watch for capital letters, hyphens, etc. And you must check the box as well and submit. And you've submitted your profile, which is the first step to completing your contract. To go over a few more things with uploading documents, we'll go back to the document tab. To upload a document, you click on the button and you'll go to your desktop. Anywhere that you save your picture, when you scan it or upload it, you'll find it on your desktop or on your computer, and select that file. And then press open, and it will automatically upload it to the to the profile. If you have a smartphone, you can take pictures of your documents and just use your smartphone to complete the profile, and when you get to the document tab, you will be able to just take a picture, and then it will upload it that way. If you have any questions about that, you can always contact us and we can go through that with you as well. There are a few documents that we are requiring for the contracts that are not listed on this page. I have the list of documents we are requiring for the SR and VPK contracts for the 2017-18 year. If the ones that are not listed on the page are the signature authority form, which may not be required for everyone, but if you are required to have that form, you will need to upload it to the library, and the provider public rate sheet. So I'll show you where those are. You'll go to your dashboard, you go to document view updates. This is your document library. It will list all the documents you have uploaded. So the ones that you've uploaded to your profile will show up in here, but the files that you need to upload that are not in the profile have their own folders. So there's one for provider public rate sheet and one for signature authority. You'll go to upload new file, and just like before, you'll browse and find the document and attach. And then it will show that we have uploaded it. You can always view the file as well. You can rename the file if needed, but you cannot delete them. You will receive a few emails throughout this process. They will come through from a do not reply email address, so please check your spam and junk mail folders just in case it goes there. And it will look something like this. They all pretty much look the same except for the wording in the middle. So this is one for if you registered. If the account has been activated, it will say, you have been approved, you may log back in. If you are a user and someone else has added you to their site, you will receive an email that looks like this. It says, receiving this message because someone has given you permission to access the site. There's another one for a submitted profile. So after if you've completed your profile and submitted it, it just lets you know that it has been submitted successfully and that the coalition is reviewing it. While we're reviewing the profiles, if we have to reject it for any reason, it will show you the status of the profile on your profile page. So you'll look here and say current status. If it still says incomplete, please make sure that you submit it so that we can review it. And then if it says rejected, it just means that we need more information or it was incomplete, and you'll receive a email that explains, it has been rejected for the following reasons, and we will include the reasons in that email. If it has been approved, you will receive an email saying it's been approved, and then we are ready to move on to the next process. After you've submitted your profile and uploaded your documents, the coalition will review them before we initiate any contracts. Thank you for your time, and please send any questions or technical support requests to providerportal@childcareconnectionsarasota.org.